Self-discipline is an essential quality that lays the foundation for success in any area of life. Whether it's personal growth, career achievements, physical health, or relationships, the ability to stay focused, resist distractions, and commit to long-term goals is what ultimately determines whether you succeed or fall short. While many people believe that motivation or talent is the key to success, the reality is that self-discipline is often the most important factor. Without it, even the most motivated individuals can lose their way, and even the most talented can fail to reach their potential. The journey toward success is rarely straightforward. It is filled with challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. This is where self-discipline comes into play. It is the force that keeps you on track when things get difficult. When motivation fades, which it inevitably does, self-discipline remains. Motivation can be unpredictable, often fueled by external circumstances, emotions, or fleeting bursts of inspiration. It might help you start something, but it is self-discipline that ensures you finish it. This is what separates successful people from those who give up when they encounter obstacles. One of the most powerful aspects of self-discipline is that it enables consistency. Success is not about making massive leaps overnight, but about taking steady, incremental steps over time. It's about showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it. It's easy to be disciplined when things are going well or when you feel excited about a project, but true self-discipline shines when enthusiasm wanes, when distractions arise, or when the work becomes tedious. It's in those moments that the ability to stay committed, to push through, and to keep moving forward defines your progress. Think about athletes, for example. Elite performers don't rely solely on talent or moments of inspiration to reach the top of their game. They rely on disciplined training regimens, adhering to strict routines that push them beyond their comfort zones. They train on the days when they feel great, but more importantly, they train on the days when they don't. Their success is built on the discipline to follow through, regardless of circumstances. This same principle applies to any field, whether you're an entrepreneur building a business, a student pursuing academic goals, or someone working on personal development. One of the common misconceptions about self-discipline is that it's about deprivation or restriction. People often associate discipline with sacrifice, thinking that it requires giving up pleasures, fun, or freedom. In reality, self-discipline is about making choices that align with your values and goals. It's about saying no to distractions or short-term temptations in order to say yes to your bigger vision. Far from limiting you, self-discipline actually gives you more freedom in the long run, freedom to achieve your goals, to live in alignment with your true desires, and to avoid the frustration and regret that come from unmet potential. The power of self-discipline lies in its ability to create positive habits. When you consistently make disciplined choices, they become habits, and over time, those habits become second nature. This is how you build momentum. For example, if you're trying to build a new skill, whether it's learning a language, mastering a sport, or improving at your job, the first step is setting aside time regularly to practice. At first, it may feel like a chore. You may have to force yourself to sit down and study, to show up for practice, or to work on your craft. But as you stick with it, it becomes a habit, something you do automatically without much effort. Eventually, it becomes a part of who you are, and that's when real progress happens. But self-discipline isn't just about taking action, it's also about managing your thoughts and emotions. Life is full of distractions, and staying disciplined means having the mental toughness to prioritize what truly matters. This involves saying no to things that don't serve your goals, whether they're bad habits, time-wasting activities, or even people who distract you from your purpose. It also means learning to deal with discomfort and delayed gratification. Success requires sacrifice, and often that means choosing long-term rewards over immediate pleasure. Developing self-discipline allows you to tolerate short-term discomfort for the sake of long-term gain. One of the most significant challenges people face when it comes to self-discipline is overcoming procrastination. Procrastination is the enemy of progress, and it's rooted in the desire to avoid discomfort. Whether it's avoiding a difficult task, putting off an important project, or delaying action until you feel ready, procrastination erodes your ability to succeed. Self-discipline is what allows you to push past that urge to procrastinate. It's the voice in your head that says, do it now rather than waiting for some perfect moment that may never come. The more you practice self-discipline, the easier it becomes to take action, even when you don't feel like it. What's important to remember is that self-discipline is not something you either have or don't have. It's a skill that can be developed. Like any skill, it requires practice, patience, and persistence. You won't master self-discipline overnight, but with consistent effort, you can strengthen it over time. Start small by setting manageable goals and holding yourself accountable. Each time you make a disciplined choice, you build your capacity for discipline. Over time, these small wins compound, and before you know it, you've built the habits and mindset needed for success. Ultimately, self-discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. It's what turns dreams into goals and goals into achievements. While it may not always be easy, it's always worth it. In the end, the rewards of self-discipline far outweigh the effort it takes to develop it. By mastering self-discipline, you're not just achieving success, you're building the character and resilience that will serve you throughout your life. In today's fast-paced world, instant gratification is everywhere. From the click of a button, we can order food, watch movies, or buy products delivered to our doorsteps within hours. Social media platforms give us a constant stream of likes, comments, and shares that offer quick boosts of dopamine. While these conveniences make modern life easier, they also reinforce a dangerous mindset, the belief that we should always expect immediate rewards. However, the most meaningful achievements in life, whether personal growth, career success, or building meaningful relationships, require patience, persistence, and the ability to delay gratification. Instant gratification refers to the desire for immediate pleasure or reward, often at the expense of long-term goals or well-being. It's that impulse to check your phone during work, to indulge in unhealthy food when you're trying to eat better, or to skip the gym because it's easier to relax. This desire for immediate rewards can sabotage even the most well-laid plans. The problem isn't that we seek enjoyment or comfort, but that our culture often prioritizes these short-term pleasures over long-term fulfillment. Overcoming this tendency is crucial for success and personal development. One of the reasons instant gratification is so powerful is because it taps into a deeply rooted part of the human brain. Our ancestors lived in environments where resources were scarce, and survival often depended on seizing opportunities as they arose. As a result, our brains evolved to seek immediate rewards because delaying action could mean missing out on crucial resources. However, in the modern world, where food, information, and entertainment are abundant, this instinct can work against us. Instead of helping us survive, it can lead to impulsive decisions that undermine our long-term goals. The most successful people in any field have learned how to overcome the pull of instant gratification and focus on their bigger objectives. This ability is often referred to as delayed gratification, which involves resisting the temptation of an immediate reward in favor of a more significant future reward. Delayed gratification requires self-discipline, a strong sense of purpose, and the ability to tolerate discomfort in the present for the sake of future success. Research has shown that people who can delay gratification tend to be more successful in many areas of life, including education, health, and financial stability. A famous study that highlights the importance of delayed gratification is the Stanford marshmallow experiment, conducted in the 1960s. In the experiment, young children were offered a choice. They could either eat one marshmallow immediately or wait 15 minutes and receive 2 marshmallows. Researchers then followed these children for several years and found that those who were able to wait for the second marshmallow generally performed better in school, had higher SAT scores, and even exhibited better mental health later in life. This study suggests that the ability to delay gratification is a strong predictor of future success. So why is overcoming instant gratification so challenging? One reason is the nature of modern distractions. Technology has made it incredibly easy to satisfy almost any desire immediately. We live in a world of constant notifications, 24/7 access to entertainment, and on-demand services. All of this reinforces the idea that we shouldn't have to wait for anything. Every time we give in to these distractions, we strengthen the habit of seeking instant rewards, making it even harder to focus on long-term goals. Another reason instant gratification is so tempting is because it often provides quick emotional relief. When we're stressed, bored, or anxious, we look for something to distract or soothe us. This could be binge watching a TV show, mindlessly scrolling through social media, or indulging in junk food. These activities offer immediate comfort, but they don't address the underlying issues. In fact, they often make things worse. The satisfaction we get from these distractions is temporary, and afterward we're left feeling even more stressed or unfulfilled because we've neglected the things that truly matter. Overcoming instant gratification begins with recognizing its influence in our lives. We must become aware of how often we seek short-term pleasure at the expense of our long-term goals. Self-awareness is the first step toward change. Once we recognize these patterns, we can start making conscious decisions to delay gratification and focus on what's truly important. One practical way to overcome instant gratification is by setting clear goals and breaking them down into smaller, manageable tasks. When we have a clear sense of purpose, it becomes easier to resist distractions. For example, if your goal is to get in shape, you might be tempted to skip your workout for a night of relaxation. But if you've already broken that goal down into a specific fitness plan, with daily or weekly targets, it's easier to stay on track. Knowing that each workout brings you one step closer to your long-term goal helps you stay motivated, even when instant gratification beckons. Another useful strategy is to create barriers between you and your distractions. For example, if you're constantly checking your phone during work, put it in another room or use an app that limits your screen time. If unhealthy snacks are your weakness, don't keep them in your house. These small steps make it more difficult to give in to impulsive behaviors, forcing you to pause and consider whether satisfying the immediate craving is really worth sacrificing your long-term goals. It's also important to practice mindfulness and develop emotional resilience. Often our desire for instant gratification stems from uncomfortable emotions, stress, boredom, or anxiety. Instead of reaching for a quick fix, practice sitting with those emotions and understanding what's driving them. This helps you develop the ability to tolerate discomfort without immediately seeking relief through distractions or indulgence. Meditation, journaling, and breathing exercises can help you build this mental and emotional strength. Accountability is another powerful tool in overcoming instant gratification. Share your goals with a friend, a mentor, or a community of like-minded individuals. Having someone else hold you accountable makes it harder to justify giving in to distractions. When you know that someone else is tracking your progress, you're more likely to stay disciplined. It's also essential to celebrate small wins along the way. While delayed gratification is about focusing on long-term rewards, acknowledging and celebrating the small milestones you achieve can help keep you motivated. These moments of recognition provide a sense of accomplishment and remind you that progress is being made, even if the ultimate goal is still far off. In the end, overcoming instant gratification is about shifting your mindset. It's about learning to value long-term rewards over short-term pleasures and realizing that the most meaningful accomplishments in life require time, effort, and persistence. While the pull of instant gratification is strong, it's not insurmountable. With the right strategies, self-awareness, and commitment to your goals, you can train yourself to resist distractions and focus on the actions that lead to true success. When we think of success, we often imagine it as the result of one grand gesture, a massive breakthrough, or a single moment of brilliance. However, in reality, success is almost always the product of small, consistent actions taken over time. While the idea of an overnight success is appealing, the truth is that meaningful achievements are built gradually, step by step. This process is not about making huge strides all at once, but about showing up each day, putting in the effort, and allowing those small efforts to accumulate and compound over time. One of the most powerful concepts related to this idea is the principle of compounding, a term often associated with finance and investment, but equally applicable to personal development, fitness, learning, and any other goal in life. Compounding refers to the idea that small, incremental efforts can build upon each other, leading to exponential growth. For example, if you invest a small amount of money regularly, the returns on those investments grow not only because of the initial contributions, but also because of the interest earned on the accumulated total. The same principle applies to our habits and efforts in life. Every small action we take contributes to future results, and over time, these results can grow far beyond what we might have initially imagined. Consider the example of learning a new skill, such as playing a musical instrument. At first, the progress seems slow. You might struggle to play even the simplest notes or chords, and it may feel like you're not improving at all. But if you practice consistently, even for just 15 or 20 minutes a day, your skills will gradually improve. A week may pass, and you won't notice much change. But after a month or two, you'll find that what once seemed difficult has become second nature. After a year, your ability will have improved dramatically. The key is not in making huge leaps forward each day, but in showing up consistently and practicing regularly. This is the power of small, consistent actions. The same principle applies to fitness. Imagine someone who wants to get in shape. They could set a big, ambitious goal, like running a marathon or losing a significant amount of weight. These are excellent long-term goals, but they can be overwhelming if approached all at once. Instead, focusing on small, daily actions such as running a short distance every day, doing a few minutes of strength training, or making healthier food choices will lead to better results over time. These small actions might seem insignificant in the short term, but over weeks and months, they compound, leading to greater endurance, strength, and overall fitness. One of the reasons small, consistent actions are so effective is that they build habits. A habit is something you do automatically without much thought or effort. By breaking a larger goal into smaller, manageable actions, you create a routine that eventually becomes second nature. For example, if you want to write a book, the idea of sitting down and writing hundreds of pages can feel overwhelming. But if you commit to writing just a little each day, even 300 words, you build a habit of writing. Over time, those 300 words a day will add up to thousands of words, and before you know it, you'll have completed a book. The important thing is that by focusing on small, consistent actions, you remove the mental barriers that often stop people from starting or continuing with a big project. Another benefit of small, consistent actions is that they build momentum. When you take small steps toward your goal, you create a sense of accomplishment and progress, even if the progress is modest. Each small victory reinforces the behavior and encourages you to keep going. Over time, this momentum grows, and what once felt like a struggle becomes easier and more enjoyable. In contrast, when you try to achieve too much all at once, you risk burning out or becoming discouraged when you don't see immediate results. By focusing on smaller, more manageable actions, you set yourself up for long-term success. One of the challenges of focusing on small, consistent actions is that the results aren't always immediately visible. In the early stages, it can feel like you're putting in effort without seeing much payoff. This can be frustrating and lead to the temptation to give up. However, it's essential to remember that just because progress isn't immediately apparent doesn't mean it's not happening. In many cases, the results of small, consistent actions take time to materialize, but when they do, they often come all at once in what's sometimes called the hockey stick effect. For a while, progress may seem slow, but eventually it accelerates rapidly, and the results become much more noticeable. A powerful example of this can be found in the world of business. Many successful entrepreneurs didn't achieve success through a single groundbreaking idea, but through years of hard work, learning, and adapting. They started small, often with modest goals, and gradually built their businesses over time. Each small step forward, each lesson learned, and each improvement added up, eventually leading to significant success. From the outside, it might look like these entrepreneurs achieved success overnight, but in reality, it was the result of years of consistent effort. The principle of small, consistent actions also applies to personal development and self-improvement. Whether you want to become more disciplined, improve your relationships, or develop greater emotional resilience, the key is to focus on small changes you can implement consistently. For example, if you want to be more productive, start by setting aside just 10 or 15 minutes each day for focused work without distractions. If you want to improve your relationships, make a habit of regularly expressing gratitude or checking in with loved ones. These small actions may not seem like much at first, but over time, they will lead to significant improvements in your overall well-being and happiness. In conclusion, small, consistent actions are the key to achieving big results in any area of life. While it's easy to become focused on achieving instant success or making dramatic changes, the reality is that meaningful progress happens gradually through daily efforts and small wins. By focusing on the process rather than the outcome, you build the habits, momentum, and resilience needed to achieve your goals. Over time, these small actions compound, leading to significant and lasting success. The most important thing is to stay committed, even when the results aren't immediately visible, and trust that every small step brings you closer to your desired outcome. Discipline, much like a muscle, is something that can be developed, strengthened, and cultivated over time. It is not an inherent trait that some people are simply born with, while others are destined to lack it. Rather, it is a skill that grows stronger with use, practice, and patience. Just like physical muscles, which require consistent effort, training, and endurance to grow, discipline requires the same dedication. If you exercise it regularly, it becomes more resilient and capable, enabling you to achieve greater things in life. The metaphor of discipline as a muscle is powerful because it emphasizes the process of gradual improvement. No one goes to the gym for a single workout and expects to have developed enormous strength overnight. Instead, building physical strength involves a commitment to regular exercise, a willingness to endure discomfort, and a focus on long-term progress. Similarly, building discipline means making small, consistent choices that may be difficult in the moment, but that add up over time to create lasting change. The first step in building discipline is recognizing that it's a skill you can develop rather than something you either have or don't have. This mindset shift is crucial because many people believe that they simply aren't disciplined by nature. They think that discipline is something other people possess, but that it's out of reach for them. However, this belief is limiting and self-defeating. In reality, anyone can build discipline just as anyone can build physical strength. It's simply a matter of starting small, being consistent, and gradually increasing your capacity over time. One of the most important aspects of building discipline is starting with manageable tasks. Just as you wouldn't attempt to lift the heaviest weight in the gym on your first day, you shouldn't expect to become highly disciplined overnight. If you try to take on too much too quickly, you're likely to become overwhelmed, frustrated, and discouraged. Instead, focus on small, achievable actions that you can commit to every day. This could be something as simple as making your bed in the morning, sticking to a 10-minute workout routine, or dedicating a few minutes each day to learning a new skill. These small victories build momentum, which in turn strengthens your discipline. Consistency is the key to building discipline. Every time you make a disciplined choice, you're reinforcing the behavior and making it easier to repeat in the future. Over time, these small, consistent actions compound, creating lasting habits. Think about brushing your teeth. This is something most people do automatically every day without much thought. Why? Because it has become a deeply ingrained habit, built through years of consistent practice. The same principle applies to any other area where you want to build discipline. By consistently choosing discipline over distraction or procrastination, you're training your mind and body to follow through, even when it's difficult. Another crucial factor in building discipline is learning to embrace discomfort. Much like physical training, which often involves pushing through pain or fatigue to build strength, developing discipline requires enduring some level of discomfort. This could be the discomfort of waking up early, resisting the temptation of unhealthy food, or working on a challenging project when you'd rather be relaxing. The ability to tolerate discomfort and delay gratification is a core component of discipline. The more you practice pushing through discomfort, the more resilient you become, and the easier it becomes to make disciplined choices in the future. One of the reasons discipline is so challenging for many people is because it involves resisting the pull of immediate rewards or distractions. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid discomfort, which is why it's often easier to indulge in a short-term pleasure like watching TV or eating junk food than to focus on long-term goals. However, just like with physical exercise, where you gradually build endurance and strength over time, you can train your brain to become more disciplined. Each time you resist a distraction or make a choice that aligns with your long-term goals, you're strengthening your discipline muscle. Another important aspect of building discipline is understanding the role of self-compassion. Just as with physical exercise, there will be days when you falter, make mistakes, or feel like you're not making progress. It's important to be kind to yourself in these moments rather than giving up or becoming overly critical. Discipline doesn't mean being perfect, it means being consistent. If you miss a day of exercise, give in to a temptation, or procrastinate on a task, don't beat yourself up. Instead, acknowledge the setback, learn from it, and get back on track the next day. This approach helps you maintain long-term progress rather than letting one mistake derail your efforts. Building discipline also requires having a clear sense of purpose or motivation. It's difficult to stay disciplined if you don't have a compelling reason to do so. Whether it's improving your health, advancing in your career, or achieving a personal goal, having a strong why can help keep you focused when the going gets tough. When you're clear about why you're making disciplined choices, it becomes easier to resist distractions and stay on course. This sense of purpose provides the fuel you need to keep exercising your disciplined muscle, even when it feels challenging. Over time, as you continue to practice discipline, you'll find that it becomes easier and more natural. Just as physical muscles grow stronger with repeated use, your capacity for discipline will expand. Tasks that once felt difficult or overwhelming will become more manageable, and you'll start to see the benefits of your consistent efforts. This could be improved physical fitness, increased productivity, or progress toward long-term goals. The key is to keep showing up, even on days when you don't feel like it. Every time you choose discipline, you're building the muscle that will carry you toward success. In conclusion, discipline is not something you're born with or without. It's a muscle that you can build and strengthen over time. By starting with small, manageable actions, being consistent, embracing discomfort, and maintaining a clear sense of purpose, you can develop the discipline needed to achieve your goals. Just as physical strength grows through regular exercise, your ability to stay disciplined improves with practice. With time and effort, what once seemed difficult will become second nature, and the rewards of your discipline will become clear. Whether in personal development, career success, or physical health, discipline is the foundation upon which lasting success is built.